Hi, this is Chatterboxing. I'm Sean, and I'm going to talk today about Dave Allen against Luis Ortiz. Okay, well, yeah, I think we all know that this is going to be a very, very tough fight for Dave Allen. The last fight that Luis Ortiz had against Malik Scott, in my prediction video, I said that I thought Malik Scott would give him problems with his movement. I didn't think he'd be as negative and use as much movement as he did, but I thought that would be a way to, to a kind of strategy against Luis Ortiz. Not to that extent, but that's why I thought Tyson Fury would be able to beat Luis Ortiz quite easily. Not easily, but compared to the other top people, I think he'd have an easier night with him than he would against Deontay Wilder, for example. But I'd pick Luis Ortiz to beat Deontay Wilder. So obviously styles make fights. I think that to beat Luis Ortiz, you need to have quite good movement. You need to kind of use your range well. And what you don't want to be doing is fighting on the inside with him. And if you do have to fight on the inside with him, someone like Tyson Fury can do that quite well as well. But what I'm really getting at with this is Dave Allen is no Malik Scott. I mean, he's no Tyson Fury. He's not going to be on his bike, using the ring, using great footwork to avoid Luis Ortiz. I like Dave Allen, good bloke, gives it his all he tries, but stylistically, I can't see how he's going to give any problems really to Luis Ortiz. He's slow on his feet. He doesn't have particularly great defense, doesn't have great head movement, doesn't have like fast hands. He's not as skillful as Ortiz. I mean, there's no blueprint, as Mayweather would say, to beat Ortiz because he's unbeaten. But I think it's quite clear that the way to beat him is not like sort of standing in front of him and having a shootout with him. I mean, maybe if you're Anthony Joshua, you've got fast hands, serious power, quick on your feet, you can do it. But let's be realistic. Dave Allen isn't Anthony Joshua, is he? The best opponent he's fought by a long way was Dillian Whyte, and in that Dillian Whyte fight, he pretty much didn't win a round. I know people say that. Excuse me. I know people say he was, he didn't really have time to prepare himself. That may be true. I mean, maybe he could fight a little bit better than that. But still, Dillian Whyte was just sort of teeing off on him pretty much for the whole fight. At some points he was fighting southpaw as well, and when he was fighting southpaw, Dave Allen was unable really to defend against anything. Luis Ortiz obviously a southpaw. He's arguably got faster hands than Dillian Whyte. He's, most people would accept that he's more skillful, hits harder. He's got a serious amateur experience. He's got good, like, sneaky little footwork just to kind of pivot around or kind of shift slightly into a different position, change the angle, and just hit you with hard punches. I could see Dave Allen walking into uppercuts all night long because Dillian Whyte was catching him with some good uppercuts. Luis Ortiz does that very well when you're coming in. One thing I would say, though, is that Dave Allen, for the purposes of people who are not from the UK, you probably don't know much about Dave Allen. One thing he does have is he's very, very tough. Dillian Whyte said it. All around, like the training, he used to train with Peter Fury, so he was regularly training with like Tyson Fury, Eddie Chambers, Hughie Fury, other people that came into the camp. Done loads of rounds of Anthony Joshua, David Price, I think, some real hard punches he's been in there with, and he does have a reputation in England of having a very, very, very good chin. So he's going to be able to take a lot of punishment, but in my opinion, I think he's going to be taking a lot of punishment. I think Luis Ortiz, having the much faster hands, much more skillful, his southpaw stance, I just can see him just teeing off on Dave Allen. Whether he's going to, this is going to show us like how hard Luis Ortiz does hit. Because if he manages to stop Dave Allen, knock him out or really like kind of do him damage early on in the fight, then we'll know that he's got some serious power. What I can see happening is an accumulation in the end, like the referee probably step in and just say, all right, mate, that's enough. Because I think Luis Ortiz is going to be hitting him hard regularly, I don't think there's going to be that much coming back. I think he's got very good defence, Luis Ortiz, from up close. And I think he's just going to be slipping, dodging, blocking, catching most of what Dave Allen throws. Pretty slow, his punches. And then he's going to be getting hit with hard punches. So my prediction is that Dave Allen will get stopped. The referee will stop it. Or the corner maybe will pull him out after he's just taken enough punishment. I think he's tough enough that he's not going to go down. He's not going to be knocked out. But I think someone's going to say enough is enough, because it's going to be a bit of I really hope I'm wrong. I mean, I do like Dave Allen. Obviously, I like the fact he stepped up to take this challenge. A lot of people are, saying like Luis Ortiz is like the bogeyman. Nobody wants to fight him. Malik Scott said he did, but then got in there and just, let's call it what it was, put on a pathetic performance. So Dave Allen won't do that. He'll do his best. I just don't think that his best is going to be anywhere near good enough to compete with someone like Luis Ortiz, who for me is one of the best in the division. One thing I would say though is that Luis Ortiz he's old. He's a lot older, clearly, than advertised. He's not in the greatest of shape. He doesn't seem to be, the energizer bunny. I mean, he's no Leo Santa Cruz, is he? I mean, obviously they're different weights, but you know what I mean? He's not particularly action-packed. He tends to fight in spurts. So one possible outcome, one way that Dave Allen could, if he can just kind of put him under enough pressure and make Luis Ortiz work enough, potentially he can exploit his age and lack of stamina. It's a possibility. It's a long shot. I think in order to do that, he's going to have taken some serious punishment in order to really wear Luis Ortiz down. But the one thing I do think we're going to learn about here with Luis Ortiz is how hard does he punch, and potentially how bad or how over or underrated, is his stamina. Because a lot of people, myself included, think he does look like he doesn't have the most stamina in the world, just based on his kind of age, physique, and the amount of time within each round that he chooses to fight in. So if he's really being pushed to go, 3 minutes of every round, I don't know if Dave Allen can do that, to be honest with you, but if he can really try and push it as much as he can, he's tough enough to take the punishment. If he can take him into those later rounds, can tire him out, he's got a chance. Who knows? I mean, I really hope Dave Allen can pull it off. I'm definitely supporting him. But realistically, I think Luis Ortiz is just going to be too good for him. This is like his 10th fight. Dylan White was a big step up for him, and he pretty much lost every round from what I can remember. This is another step up for him, and I can't see him, doing any better, unless Luis Ortiz is just a complete hype job, which I don't think so, personally. So yeah, my prediction is that Luis Ortiz will stop him with the referee stepping in the later rounds. I'm not even sure, how many rounds is it? Is it 10, 12? If it's 10, then possibly. If it's 12, I think around 10, round 9, possibly. The referee might just say, okay, that's enough. Yeah, it's not. I saw an interview with Eddie Hearn, and he said if he was his fighter or he was managing him, he wouldn't have made this fight for him now. It's a bit too early. But, I suppose it's an opportunity. He wants to make a name for himself. So you've got to respect that. Dave Allen probably doesn't have that many offers on the table. He gets a chance to fight a big name. He'll get a lot of respect. So, yeah, fair play to him for stepping up, and I really hope he can pull it off. But I think it's quite unlikely. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching.